Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So, by the title of this video, it's a little different from what I usually talk about, but I thought I'd get in here and just kind of put like my thoughts and feelings into this. So, sibling jealousy. Ooh. So I have an older brother by 2 years and 2 days. And he's older, and there's not a huge age gap, but we are a little bit different. Yes, we are strong-minded, and we have a kind of give and take relationship. Like I said, oh, creepy doll again. Sorry. In a few videos ago, and I mention it from time to time throughout videos because I think it is important and not something that I'm ashamed of. I am the first to admit that, yeah, I kind of screwed the pooch on our relationship when I went through a lot of the things that I went through. However, okay, so, like, honestly, I'm gonna be, completely, open and transparent about this because this is what my channel is about. So, I would say yes. I did when I was... Oh, okay, sorry. I just saw some blood on my leg, but that's okay. I banged into something, so anyways, besides the point. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there was some jealousy when I was younger. I was envy of my brother. He got the skinny gene. So for him, it is very hard to put on weight. For me, very easily. I mean, anything I eat, I tend to put on weight. That is just my genetics. Him, he's a skinny little lad. And it actually takes effort for him to put on weight or to build muscle. Me, I'm more like a potato. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not body shaming myself or anything. It's just like I've accepted it a long time ago. And like I'm not ashamed of it. It's just it is harder for me to keep off the weight, or to put on weight is very easily. So, I do have to watch what I eat and work out, and it doesn't help with my depression that makes it worse, because and the medication that I'm on, that tends to put on weight. So that's yay for me. Anyways, we're getting off topic. But yeah, I was always kind of envy of my brother. From a young age, I was diagnosed with ADHD. And again, it's not that big of a deal, like, now. And even though, like, I'm not that old, I'm almost 27. But, like, even back, like, I guess 20 years ago, it was, like, it was a major, I don't know. It wasn't shunned upon, but it was like, oh, you're, like, you have a mental disability, like, oh. Like, that's just, how it was. And I was very envious of my brother because he didn't have that. I did. And, again, and I'm not saying that, oh, his life was perfect and whatnot. No, I know he went through all these struggles and stuff, and on the outside, it looked like things came to him more easily. And I was always transparent about that. Like, oh, I know things look easy for him, but he's probably going through a lot of shit. I was always that, kind of open-minded. I was open-minded about it. There we go. Fucking English is hard today. Anyways, he got his black belt in Taekwondo. He traveled, like, to the world championships of Taekwondo. He had really good grades, he worked really hard for them, He had all these job opportunities, and from Taekwondo, he went into all these different things, and eventually that led to him opening up his own gym. And for me, life was a little bit challenged because, I was labeled that special child in my school, and at a young age. I was put into a smaller class to help me learn, which I really appreciated, though the teachers treated us like we were stupid, and that was that. So basically you had to self-teach yourself, so you wouldn't, struggle in later years or other schools and stuff. And Jesus. And yeah, there was a time where it just looked easier for him. And, it is different because he is a boy and I'm a girl. So there is that difference of, my parents were more protective. I couldn't do certain things because of it, being a female. He was 2 years older, so he got to do a lot of things. And again, sometimes I didn't see what he was struggling with and whatnot. And I'm fully aware of that. And I have always been fully aware of that. But I was never, super jealous of my brother. I was always, enviness. Enviness is not a word, Jessica. I was just envy of him. I wish that, things were a little bit more easier for me. I was never jealous. I was very supportive and, even though sometimes, again, it seemed like the light was always shined on him. He was doing things, he was accomplishing things, and there was nothing, spectacular or special about me. Again, just my opinion of younger days. Sometimes you would get into those modes oh, the lights always shined on him or whatnot. And, it was frustrating because, you would go to family get-togethers and, everybody would be praising him and stuff. And then me, they would be, kind of pointing out my flaws that I had to try harder and blah, blah, blah. But we are two different people. And I know a lot of people sometimes forget that we are two different people with two different minds that want two different things in life, And yes, I have struggled and gone through a lot of stuff, and yes, that has carried on to the, present day. But again, I haven't sat on my ass and did nothing. I've gone to school, I've worked. It's not like I gave up. Sure, my shit was not grand like my brother in some eyes. And yeah, sometimes, I did kick myself in the butt and be like, oh, hey, you have to be as good as him because, that's just the thing. You can't let down the family, you have to do this. And that was me putting pressure on myself. That wasn't anybody else putting pressure on myself. So sometimes, it was pointed out to me that I am not my brother. And that used to really bug me. But now, that I'm older, it's oh yeah, I know I'm not my brother. We're two separate people. Hello. But yeah, I know a lot of people think and have said to me that, oh, you're just so jealous of your brother. No, that was never a thing. I mean, yeah, there was certain things, I was jealous on, oh, my brother's getting more attention on this. Oh, my brother's, his life seems together. That was just, in the spare of the moment. But yeah, there was a lot of people that tend to compare me to my brother. And just because, we are on two different paths doesn't mean that I'm not gonna, end up being somebody that's a nobody. And I don't think nobody's a nobody, if that makes sense. I'm just that type of person that's very I don't give up on people, and just because their lifestyles are different doesn't mean that, they're not going to amount to anything. I'm just that open-minded person. Just, I have a lot of love and care for people. That's just how I think, And yeah, my brother does have his life together. And I say that kind of not in a mean way. It's just, life is never going to be perfect. And I'm not here shitting upon my brother at all. No, I'm not saying he has a great life. He has a dog, he has a wife, he has a home, He has a business, he has a great life, and it's probably never going to be perfect. There's probably stress and all that stuff that comes with life. And again, I'm not here shitting upon my brother. He has done a fantastic job, and I'm very proud of him, of what he has accomplished in life. But that doesn't mean I'm sitting here in a corner being jealous of him. And again, I used to put that pressure on myself that I had to do something big. I had to do something noticeable like my brother has. Like, I had to be as good as him. And that has always kind of been my way of thinking. Because, I put that pressure on myself because I see that, I have struggled. I have went through some shit. Like, yeah, I'm not at that level. Family members have said, you're not your brother. You have to do better. You're basically doing nothing with your life because, I haven't done him. Close people in my life have said that. And again, that's not to shit upon everybody, because again, everybody has an opinion and everybody sees things differently. And I've always seen things differently. Like, I've always, again, been open-minded. Like, I haven't been closed off or tunnel vision. And I guess that's what used to frustrate me, is because, like, I saw all these options and all these, like, scenarios and paths, and, like, yeah, just because we're not the same doesn't mean, what I'm doing isn't as great as he's doing. We're just on a different course. That has always been my logic of thinking. And again, a lot of people aren't like that. They have tunnel vision, or they just have other opinions. So this isn't me shitting upon anybody. This is just, me just saying, no, I'm not jealous of my brother. Yes, I am envy of my brother sometimes, and, kind of wish that things came a little bit more easier for me. But then again, on the flip side, it's like, he's really had to work his ass off for the things that has accomplished in life. And yes, there's things he's have given up in life to accomplish those goals. And there's always, like, different views of people's lives and, how they intertwine. And oh my god, my back is sore. Sorry, I was baking cookies all day, but that's not besides the point. You guys are here for this other video. It's always kind of intrigued me how people could be so jealous of another human being. Like, I get it. Like, sometimes, life does seem easier for somebody. People were born into money, or they just seem to have the luck in the world, But again, there's always different views for that person. Yeah, that person might have been born into money, but maybe he took another avenue, or she took another avenue, or yeah, him or her, there we go, proper, were, born into money, but, they probably had life struggles. And I know everybody's like, well, money fixes all. They can't have problems because they have money. That's a load of bullshit. I'm sorry. That's how I see it. It's just bullshit. Just because you have money doesn't mean that you don't have problems. Money can't fix everything. Money can't buy happiness. But again, back onto the video. It's always about a point of view. And again, yes, I fully admit there were times and moments where, yes, I was jealous of my brother, and, I was very angry, but not at him, more at me. Like, come on, suck it up, princess, you can do it better. I always put that pressure on myself. It wasn't like I put it on him. Granted, our relationship has been rocky, and, I did go through all that bullshit. And then, when I was getting my life together, he was on a totally different life course. And, like, he was getting his shit together, and he was working his ass off to own his own business, and it's like he didn't really have time for me. And again, that does not, I'm not angry about that. I totally fully understand that his attentions needed to be fully engaged on something else. Do I wish our relationship was stronger? Of course. Will we have that one day? I hope. Again, we are at this point in our lives where we're, almost in our 30s, and we have different life goals, and we're having all these like struggles and challenges in life, and different life courses, life paths. And it's just, we're putting our focus somewhere else. Yes, we will always have each other's back. And if we are in trouble or danger or just need, a sibling, we will be there for each other. Yes, he can't make time for me rarely anymore, but that's because he's running a business. He's getting his life. He has a wife, like I'm not even second fiddle. I am like on the back burner because like, my parents come before me, and like I totally get that. Like it's just how life works. Life gets complicated as we get older, and we don't always have time for, sibling relationships or like family relationships. It just gets all twisted. And I know this video has gone off on like a whole bunch of different courses here, but just to bring it in is just to bring it in, just to bring it home to the topic. There we go. Oh God, English sucks tonight. I'm so sorry. That, yeah, you can feel jealousy. Yeah, you can feel envy, but don't feel it too much. Don't feel too bad that you're feeling these things, because it's just human nature. It's natural. It's just, everybody's different. And that's even like for blood related. Like every family member in my family is different. Yeah, we might have some same views and, same DNA and all that stuff, but we are completely different human beings. And for a long time there, me and my brother weren't talking. And again, that's mostly, on my end, because, I was going through some stuff. Granted, he didn't push, to have a conversation. I mean, certain times he did, but he kind of pushed in the wrong direction, if that makes any sense. Like, he was more aggressive than, pointing out my flaws instead of, like, asking what was up. And again, that was like, we were young, and I know we're not old now, but we were younger than we are now. And, one day I do want to sit down and have a conversation and explain everything that I went through, and, apologize for, my end of our relationship being kind of shitty and not, what it used to be as we were kids, because we were really super close when we were kids. We used to just go outside for hours on end, just playing in the backyard, having these adventures, using our imagination. And, I do miss that closeness that we once shared, and I hope one day that we can have that again. But again, as we get older, things change and life happens, and it's, messy and twisty, and ugh. Whoever said being an adult is the best, I don't know. But again, to bring this all in, it is okay to feel jealousy. It is okay to feel all those things, but you have to, I don't want to say you have to do this. What's the word am I looking for? On your own time. When you feel that it is the right time. I mean, again, there's not always a right time, but, have that conversation with your sibling, again, you might not be on talking terms with them. Shit has maybe happened. Every situation is different, but I'm saying is in a situation where you can talk to them, talk to them, and listen to them, and have them listen to you. Well, not have, but, let them hear you out. And I'm truly sorry if you didn't ever have that opportunity, if they passed away, or they just, if you don't feel like you can mend that, relationship. I am truly sorry for that. And it sucks. You know, it sucks being so close yet so far away, and that can relate to many, many things in life. But life is a sticky course. It really, really is. And as I get older, and, you know, even mature further, you know, you do learn things in life that is interesting and frustrating and confusing. And you just kind of have to figure it out. And I know that's like, oh, well, that's kind of, gee, thanks, I didn't know that, Jess. Like, I know you guys probably know that, but it's just, there was no, like, icing on the cake that says snap your fingers and you're gonna have the perfect life, you know? It's all about the adventure and the experiences and the journey and the learning and, you know, mistakes. Mistakes happen, and you just have to be willing to, you know, put in the effort to mend relationships, communicate. You just have to be willing to take that step. And, you know, if that step's not reciprocated, it will hurt and it will sting and it will be frustrating and you're going to want to get angry. But just remember, you took that step, you know, and it might not work out now, but like years down the road, if you then, you know, just take that small step of trying to communicate and trying to mend. And, you know, again, nothing can be fixed overnight. And many things can happen and many roadblocks would come in the way, but as long as you just take that first step, there's many possibilities. Or, you know, it might not work out, but as long as you try, and I know that's a scary thing to do, is to try and to take that first step, but I just hope that, you know, you all can find the strength to take that small step or to make that decision. And, you know, you don't have to do it alone. That is, I guess, what I'm trying to tie all of this into. Anyways, guys, I will end this video here as I'm rambling on. Remember, never give up, always keep fighting. You're enough, and you're very much loved. Until the next video, I love you guys. Bye.